Alright everybody, what is going on? It is your boy C4 here, and today bringing you the top 5 fantasy musts for the tight end position for the upcoming fantasy season. And today, we're just going to jump right into this motherfucker. At number 5, Rob Gronkowski. Obviously, a lot is pending on his health. He's got, the injury bug. Not even injury bug. He's just got terribly unlucky. All the hits have been borderline dirty, just super unlucky where he's been getting hit. Last year, he had 6 games started, 592 yards, 4 touchdowns, 39 receptions. When healthy, he's going to be Tom Brady's #1 target. And, that is pretty scary thing to think about. But we only have it at number 5 because the injury problem. The injury is such a big injury. We don't know if he's going to be the exact same elite tight end that he is before all these injuries that he's had. But if I had to put money on it, Rob Gronkowski is if he can play a full season, he'll be a top 3 tight end easy. I still don't think he'll be able to top Jimmy Graham just because of the different types of offense that they have. But, put him at number 5 just because the injury scares and a little bit of uncertainty, but he's an absolute beast. It's Rob Gronkowski. Number 4, Vernon Davis of the San Francisco 49ers. Last year, 850 yards, 13 touchdowns, 52 receptions. Really developed into Colin Kaepernick's safety net. Gets a lot of touchdowns. I think that his stats might be a little bit less, especially in the touchdown department now with all the wide receiving core they have with, get Michael Crabtree, Bolden, Stevie Johnson. They got Brandon Lloyd. The ball's, ideally what you'd think as a 49er fan that they're going to move the ball around a lot more. It's not just going to be Vernon Davis and Anquan Bolden as their 2 threats. But still, Vernon Davis, I think he can very well get 1,000 yards. His touchdown number, I don't think he'll be around 13. His receptions probably will stay around the same, but still a very, very productive tight end. Very safe pick for a #1 tight end. Number 3, my kind of sleeper, I guess, that might differentiate from a lot of people's top 5, Greg Olsen. I have Greg Olsen here because, again, much like Rob Gronkowski, he's going to be the #1 receiving threat in Carolina. Carolina got absolutely shit pumped in free agency with their wide receivers. The wide receivers on paper look like garbage. I don't really know what they were thinking. Really, it's going to, I think, hinder Cam Newton's ability to develop because he has no rapport with any of the wide receivers on the team, or at least any of the major wide receivers. So Greg Olsen is going to be the #1 guy there. Cam Newton had an excellent season. I think Greg Olsen is going to has all the potential to be actually a #1 tight end. Well, actually, no, Jimmy Graham. But #2 tight end. 800 yards, 6 touchdowns, 73 receptions. And, realistically, if just trying to do base projections, these all numbers should be higher. 73 receptions last year is very, very good for a tight end. The second most behind Jimmy Graham. I could see that very well being in the higher, getting at least 20 more receptions, 10 touchdowns, 1,000 yards, should be a lock. I think he's going to be an absolute sleeper. You're not going to have to overdraft him. I don't think you can probably get him, in the middle of tight ends. Excellent pickup there. Number 2, Julius Thomas of the Denver Broncos last year blew up onto the scene. No one really, pretty much the week 1 waiver wire stud. 788 yards, 12 touchdowns, 65 receptions. You're probably going to get something similar. You just can't cover everyone on the from the Denver Broncos receiving perspective. Definitely, I don't think he'll probably get as many touchdowns because I think teams might, really sharpen up against him in the red zone. But, should be on pace for 800 yards. Has a good chance to hit double-digit touchdowns. 65 receptions is what I feel about right. So still going to be, up there statistically. Top 5 tight end for sure. I just have him more of a safer bet than Vernon Davis or Gronkowski just because he has Peyton Manning throwing the ball. And, of course, the #1 tight end in fantasy football, he's going to be the lock. Jimmy Graham, even with all the off-season shit like that, he's still going to be uber productive. Last year, I had him on both my fantasy teams, 1,200 total yards, 16 touchdowns, 86 receptions. He's going to replicate that. I think maybe not as many touchdowns, but well over 1,000 yards, at least a dozen touchdowns. Probably will replicate 86 receptions or so. So, he's a stud on all accounts. Touchdowns, red zone threats, receiving yards, PPR league with his receptions. Jimmy Graham is head and shoulders. If you really have to gamble on a tight end in the first round, it should be Jimmy Graham. I think he should be probably a middle second round pickup personally. But it is what it is. There you have it, guys. Those are the top 5 fantasy musts for the tight end position. As always, make sure you subscribe to Beast Mode TV. Let me know in the comment section below who you think the top 5 fantasy tight ends will be for this upcoming season. And as always, until next time, guys, it is your boy C4 saying peace out.